Remember their adorable faces from your favorite childhood shows and films? Time flies, and so do careers. From shocking glow-ups to total career 180s, here are 15 former child stars who look completely different today in 2025. Daniel Radcliffe will forever be known as the boy who lived. From the age of 11, he grew up on screen as Harry Potter, his face synonymous with the iconic round glasses and lightning bolt scar. For 10 years, he was the most famous child actor on the planet, but that level of fame came with immense pressure. Physically, he transformed too, often appearing with scruffy beards and a more rugged everyman look. By 2025, he's a respected stage and screen actor known for his daring choices, not just his past. The boy who lived became the man who thrived by doing exactly what he wanted. And while Daniel was escaping a wizard's shadow, another star from a magical franchise was undergoing a transformation that had everyone talking. Emma Watson was the brilliant, bookish Hermione Granger, the role model for an entire generation. Like her co-star, she spent her formative years in the glare of the Harry Potter spotlight. As the series concluded, she didn't just act. She went to Brown University, became a UN Women Goodwill Ambassador, and launched a feminist book club. She evolved from a child star into a global advocate for gender equality. Her physical transformation has been just as intentional. Gone is the girl with the bushy hair and school robes. In her place is a sophisticated chic woman who is a regular at Paris Fashion Week. Her style is polished and elegant, a far cry from the wizardry of her youth. In 2025, she's highly selective with her acting roles, focusing on producing and her activism. From one witch to another, our next star cast a spell on audiences in the 90s, but her path took a much darker turn. Mara Wilson was the darling of 90s cinema. With her cherubic face and precocious charm, she stole hearts in Mrs. Doubtfire and Matilda. She was the definition of a Hollywood child star, but behind the scenes, she was struggling. The industry's intense pressure, coupled with the tragic loss of her mother to cancer, made her fall out of love with acting. She stepped away from the spotlight entirely, and her appearance changed dramatically as she grew up. She now has dark, often vibrantly colored hair, and a style that is far more alternative than the sweet little girl she once played. Mara has become a successful writer and vocal mental health advocate, openly discussing her experiences with OCD and anxiety. She has fully rejected the child star label, and when she appears online or at conventions, fans are often stunned by the sharp, witty woman who looks nothing like the Matilda they remember. Her story is one of reclaiming one's narrative on one's own terms. Enjoying this trip down memory lane? Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more content that blows your mind. Our next actor also found fame in a beloved family film, but his journey led him to a completely different kind of stage. Macaulay Culkin was, for a time, the most famous child actor in the world. His face in Home Alone, screaming in terror and delight, is etched into pop culture history. For years, he was the cheeky, mischievous kid everyone loved. But as a teenager, he rebelled fiercely against the system that made him famous, stepping away from acting and falling into a very public period of personal struggles. For years, he was seen as a reclusive figure, his appearance changing with long hair, glasses, and a gaunt look that worried fans. But in a stunning turnaround, the man he is in 2025 is a picture of contentment. He's a father, has found a stable and happy relationship with fellow actor Brenda Song, and has even received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Staying in the world of 90s sitcoms, the next star was the cool, scheming neighbor we all wished we had. Jaleel White will always be known as Steve Urkel from Family Matters. With his high-waisted pants, suspenders, and nasally "Did I do that?", he created one of the most iconic characters in television history. For years, he was synonymous with that nerdy persona, and breaking free from it was a monumental task. As an adult, Jaleel looks nothing like his famous character. He's tall, athletic, and carries himself with a confident, smooth demeanor. He's traded the glasses and suspenders for stylish suits, often appearing as a commentator on pop culture shows. He's worked consistently as a voice actor and writer, but the sight of the grown-up Jaleel White still surprises audiences who expect to see Urkel. Can you believe how much these stars have changed? If you're enjoying this video, show it some love with a like and subscribe. Let's keep the nostalgia going. Taron Noah Smith was the youngest son on the hit 90s sitcom Home Improvement. As Mark Taylor, he was the adorable, slightly quirky kid growing up on TV. When the show ended in 1999, he largely stepped away from the public eye, and his life took a path no one could have predicted. He became an entrepreneur, starting a biodiesel company, and his physical transformation was drastic. He grew his hair long, covered himself in tattoos, and developed a muscular, rugged appearance far removed from the clean-cut child actor. His personal life, including a marriage to an older woman, also made headlines. By 2025, he is completely removed from Hollywood, living a private life. When photos of him surface, fans of the show are left stunned, struggling to connect the man covered in ink with the little boy from Tool Time. Another 90s icon, this next star was the ultimate girl next door on one of the most popular shows of the decade. Jonathan Taylor Thomas was the ultimate teen heartthrob of the 90s. As the middle son Randy on Home Improvement and the voice of young Simba in The Lion King, he was inescapable. His face was on the walls of millions of teenage bedrooms. Then, at the height of his fame, he walked away. He turned down roles to focus on academics, attending Columbia University and later focusing on writing and directing. His retreat from the spotlight was almost total. For years, he was only spotted occasionally, often with a full beard and a cap, looking like any other guy on the street. In 2025, he makes rare appearances in Hollywood, often supporting his former co-stars. Our next actor was the tiny terror in a horror classic, but his life after fame took a tragic and difficult turn. Danny Lloyd became an instant, albeit unknowing, icon of horror as 6-year-old Danny Torrance in Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. After the film, his parents pulled him from the industry to give him a normal childhood. He completely vanished from the public eye. He became a respected biology professor at a community college, living a quiet, anonymous life. It wasn't until many years later that he began making occasional appearances at horror conventions. The sight of the grown man, now in his 50s with a beard and glasses, standing next to photos of his child self is always a shock. He is perhaps the most literal example of unrecognizable, having lived a full and successful life entirely separate from his legendary film debut. From the horrors of the Overlook Hotel to the whimsy of a chocolate factory, our next star was the good-hearted hero of a beloved classic. Peter Ostrom had one of the most coveted roles in cinematic history. Charlie Bucket in the original Willy Wonka and The Chocolate Factory. He was the embodiment of hope and goodness, winning the ultimate prize. Yet, after that one perfect role, he never acted again. He returned to a normal life, completely untouched by Hollywood. He became a large animal veterinarian in New York, dedicating his life to caring for cows and horses. When he is recognized, which is rare, people are stunned. The freckle-faced boy with the golden ticket is now a tall, gray-haired, kind-faced man in his 60s. Our next transformation takes us from the world of fantasy adventure to the harsh realities of life in the spotlight. Josh Saviano was the nerdy, loyal best friend Paul Pfeiffer on the coming-of-age show The Wonder Years. With his large glasses and earnest demeanor, he was a key part of one of television's most beloved ensembles. After the show ended, he left acting behind entirely, focusing on his education. He graduated from Yale University and became a successful entertainment lawyer. For years, a wild internet rumor persisted that he had grown up to become the rock singer Marilyn Manson, a myth he has good-naturedly debunked. The truth, while less shocking than the rumor, is still surprising to fans. The man he is today is clean-cut, professional, and bears little resemblance to the awkward kid from the 60s set show. He made a cameo in the recent reboot of The Wonder Years, providing a full-circle moment that highlighted just how much he and the audience had grown. We're over halfway through. If you're loving these shocking reveals, help us out by liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more amazing content every week. Ariana Richards terrified audiences as the brave, screaming Lex Murphy in the original Jurassic Park. Her reaction to the T-Rex is one of the most memorable scenes in film history. She continued acting through her teens, but her passion always lay in art. She transitioned from acting to become a highly successful, award-winning painter and gallery owner. Her artistic career is her primary focus in 2025. When she appears at Jurassic Park anniversaries, fans are taken aback. The young girl with the long, dark hair is now a poised, blonde artist in her 40s. The transformation is not one of hardship, but of purpose. She channeled the creativity of her youth into a thriving, lifelong career. trading dinosaur screams for the quiet focus of the studio. This next star wasn't just an actor, he was a fashion icon for an entire generation of kids. Tyler Kite captured the hearts of tween audiences as the brooding, flannel-wearing heartthrob Ethan Kraft on the Disney Channel's Lizzie McGuire. With his shaggy hair and cool guy persona, he was the object of Lizzie and Miranda's affection. After the show, he continued acting in Canada, but largely stepped away from the Hollywood machine. The man he is today is a stark contrast to the teen idol of the early 2000s. He now sports a thick, full beard, numerous tattoos, and a much more rugged rock and roll aesthetic. He looks more like a member of an indie folk band than the clean-cut school crush from the show. From a Disney heartthrob to a star of one of the most controversial families on television, our next entry had a very public growing up process. Angus T. Jones was the literal punchline on the massive hit sitcom 2.5 Men, earning a fortune as the half-man Jake Harper. He grew up on screen from a chubby-cheeked kid to a lanky teenager. At the height of the show's success, he underwent a profound religious awakening and publicly denounced the show that made him famous, calling it filth and asking people to stop watching. He left acting and the public eye entirely, focusing on his faith and education. His physical transformation has been dramatic. The goofy, overweight teen is now a slim, sharp-featured man in his early 30s who often wears a serious expression. He works in the tech sector and leads a deeply private life. Our next actor started as a tiny tot in a family of actors and grew into a star in his own right, but his look is entirely his own. Spencer Breslin was the adorable, curly-haired little boy in early 2000s family films like The Santa Claus 2 and 3 and The Kid alongside Bruce Willis. His round face and cheerful demeanor made him a familiar face for children of that era. As he entered his teenage years, he began to step back from acting. The man he is now, in 2025, is a complete departure from his child star image. He is a musician and occasional actor with a much leaner face, distinctive facial hair, and a head of long curly hair. The change is so pronounced that when he posts on social media, fans of his old movies frequently comment that they would never have recognized him without his name attached. And finally, we have a star whose journey from a small-town kid on TV to a Hollywood leading man is one of the most dramatic physical transformations of all. Drake Bell was one of the biggest stars on Nickelodeon in the mid-2000s. As the mischievous guitar-playing Drake Parker on Drake and Josh, he was the cool older brother everyone wanted. He parlayed that fame into a music career, branding himself as a rock and roll heartthrob. However, the past decade has been incredibly difficult for him, marked by serious legal troubles, personal struggles, and a very public fall from grace. His physical appearance has changed drastically. His face appears altered, and he often looks tired and weathered in public appearances. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through time. Which transformation shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this nostalgic look back, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new video. See you in the next one.